What's up guys, it's Jero Cars and welcome back to another video. Now for today, I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about the possibility of a 2018 Mustang Mach 1. And you guys know that I'm a huge Mach 1 fan. I pretty much daily drive a 2003 Mustang Mach 1, and my dad has a 1969 Mustang Mach 1. It runs in the family. We're huge Mach 1 fans, and we would love to see another one, especially me because I'm like hugely into them. And so tonight my friend Jonathan had messaged me and told me that there was a possibility of a 2018 Mustang Mach 1. And this right away really caught my interest because I actually made a video about 9 months ago talking about the possibility of a 2017 Mustang Mach 1 because I had come across some information that pointed towards one. And so I made a video on that, which that video got a lot of like dislikes and hate just because once 2017 came around and there wasn't a 2017 Mach 1, people got upset when they were still watching the video in 2017. But basically that video had some valid information, some valid points. And this one is going to be totally different. I found a lot of information because basically once Jonathan told me that, I started doing a ton of research and researching actually the older Mach 1s and the newer ones, and also just the speculation. And I found out a lot of information, and I kind of wanted to compile one video and talk about all of it. So yeah, I'm super excited. I really have a good feeling that there could be a 2018 or 2019 Mustang Mach 1. I'm leaning more towards actually 2018 though. So let's talk about it. Really fast though, I want to quickly talk about what the video that I made in early 20s or mid 2016 talked about. And that was basically that I had searched 2017 Mustang Mach 1 just for fun to see what would come up. And I found an ad for Ford. It was actually like towards the top of the page on Google. And there was an ad for Ford that said 2017 Mustang. That's all it said. It didn't say Mach 1, but it did say like leather bucket seats, like radio, like Sync 3, whatever it comes with in the 2017 Mustang. But then it said 5.8 liter V8, which was very strange to me, being that the original Mustang Mach 1 in 1969 came with a 5.8 liter V8. That was what was strange to me because I was thinking, nowadays that we have the Voodoo engine in the Shelby GT350, the 5.2 liter, and we've had the 5.8 liter in the Shelby GT500 recently, wouldn't it be weird if they put a 5.8 liter naturally aspirated without the supercharger like in the Shelby? What if they put that in the Mach 1 and it made somewhere in the high 4s? Wouldn't that work out? So that's basically what I talked about in that video, which that video, like I said, ended up getting some dislikes because it never really happened. But now I have some more information that I want to share with you guys. And me, like I said, being this massive Mach 1 fan, I just have to share it with you guys. I have to share it with someone. And I thought it'd be appropriate to share with you guys, especially because a lot of you guys are Mustang Mach 1 fans. So yeah, here we go. So, for you guys to understand what I'm about to say in this video, we're going to have to talk about a little bit of history with the Mach 1, because the history is the main reason that I think there will be a 2018 Mach 1. So basically, the Mach 1 debuted in 1969. The first ever Mustang came out in 1964.5, or 1964 and halfway through the year. That's when the first Mustang came out. And then the Mach 1 debuted in 1969. That's actually the year my dad's car is. It's a 1969 Mach 1. Now, the first generation of Mach 1 was 1969 to 1970. Then 1971 and 1973, there was the second gen of Mach 1. Then 1973, I think, to 1974 to 1978 was the third gen. And then obviously what we have, well, we have the first gen Mach 1, and then we also have a fourth gen Mach 1. I'm getting so many numbers here, man. Basically, the 2003 and 2004 was the fourth gen Mach 1. Now things start to get weird. So the 2003 to 2004 Mustangs, well, actually the 2004 specifically Mustangs, were the 40th anniversary edition of the Mustang. So basically, the Mach 1s in 2004 had a 40th anniversary edition thing on the side, and that was simply because the first Mustang had come 40 years earlier. But also, the 2004 Mustang Mach 1 was the 35th anniversary of the original Mustang Mach 1. Now, you would think that they would start it in 2004 and go on to 2005 for the Mustang Mach 1 if they say wanted to make it for 2 years like they did. You would think that they would start in 2004 on the 35th edition because a lot of car companies do something special for the 35th edition, especially, or 35th anniversary, especially Ford. And so you'd think they would start it on the 2004 and go to 2005. But the thing is, for 2005, there was a Mustang refresh. So they started it in 2003 and went on to 2004. And that's why, because it was the 35th edition. So they started in 2003. They wanted to make it for 2 years. So they did 03 and 04. And then the 04 was obviously the 35th anniversary. I'm sorry, I can't even talk. The 35th anniversary of the original Mustang Mach 1. Now, if you're wondering, they don't only do this for the Mach 1, pretty obviously. So if you look into 1967, that was when the Shelby GT500 debuted. And flash forward to 2007, they brought it back, which was 40 years later. So they definitely do this for a lot of cars. It's not always on the 35th or the 40th or the 50th, but they obviously always really will do something special for the 50th anniversary of a model or the car. Now, obviously, Ford takes the 50th anniversary for a car pretty seriously. If you look at the 2015 Mustang, that was the 50th anniversary from the first ever Mustang in 1964 and a half. And basically, they redesigned the whole car from the inside out. They changed the interior, exterior, they changed to an IRS, and they just did a bunch of stuff to the car and completely revamped the car from ground up. And so, if you look at 1969, the year the Mustang Mach 1 debuted, flash forward 50 years later, that would be 2019. And so you might think that for the 50th anniversary of the Mustang Mach 1, of course, they're probably going to do something. In my opinion, they're most likely going to add another Mach 1 to the mix because it's the 50th anniversary of the Mach 1. They have to do something huge as they did for the Mustang in general. Now, it would land on 2019, but the reason I think they might do it in 2018 is because, and the reason I told you all that information before, is because if you look at 2003 to 2004, the 35th anniversary was on 2004, but they added the 2003 Mustang so that the last year of the Mustang, or the Mustang Mach 1, would land right on the 35th anniversary, because the 35th anniversary is a pretty big deal. But so they would discontinue the Mustang Mach 1, or like stop making it in 2004, the last year, which would be the 35th anniversary. Now, if you look at 2019, if you think about it, what if they made a 2018 Mustang, and then they went on for one more year into 2019, and that year, just like 2003 and 2004, landed on 2019, which would be the 50th anniversary. So that is pretty much the reason that I think we could see a 2018 Mustang Mach 1. Now, if we don't see it in 2018, I really do believe we're going to see it in 2019, being that it would be the 50th anniversary. But there's also some little stuff that I have to share with you guys that has also pointed towards a 2018 Mustang Mach 1, which I'll share with you now. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is that if you search Mustang Mach 1 Wikipedia, you basically find the link to Wikipedia and you click it, and you'll see all the details from all the specs and all the engines from all the Mustang Mach 1s throughout the years. But then at the bottom, at the very bottom of the page, it says 2018 dash. So that would mean that it's starting in 2018 and going to whenever. That's the first weird thing, is that Wikipedia actually has 2018 dash, and that's under the Mach 1 like wiki. That's not a Mustang wiki, that's the Mach 1 wiki, which is very strange to me. So there's also been a video of a 2018 Mustang driving around with all the covers on it and everything, so you can't see anything, but a lot of Mustang experts have said that it looks and has characteristics of a Mustang Mach 1, which is another weird thing. Now, another site called 0to60times.com is a site that I go on all the time, and it has a whole list of almost every single car ever made, and it's 0 to 60 in quarter mile time. But if you go on that website and go under Mustang, it actually says 2017 Mustang Mach 1, and then it says like 0 to 60 to be released, which it said that for a very long time, but it's still kind of weird that that's a big reputable site for 0 to 60s. And usually if they have speculation, like valid speculation or actual info from like Ford or a big company, then they'll put it on there and say to be released. And it says 2017 Mustang Mach 1. Maybe they meant to put 2018 or something, or 2019, but still kind of weird. The last thing I want to talk about is actually a really big piece of news, and that is that CJ Pony Parts posted an article. They're a big website for Mustang parts and everything, and they basically posted an article about the 2018 Mustang Mule that was spotted, which a mule is just a car that hasn't come out yet, that's completely covered up, so you can't see any of the paint or the design, and it can still drive on the streets, but like in the local area, and it was by the Ford headquarters, I believe, or one of the Ford like manufacturing plants. And so basically, it was a 2018 Mule, and it had a big hole in the hood, it had a hole in the hood, and then there was like a scoop coming up from it. And I don't think that the scoop in that picture, I'll put the picture on screen, I don't think the scoop in that picture would be the one that would be on the 2018 Mustang Mach 1. But that would mean that there was a hole in the hood that they just probably put a random scoop on to cover up. And what other car can you think of that would have a big scoop in the hood, like a big scoop right in the middle of the hood, than a Mustang Mach 1, well, at least in terms of Mustangs, but other than the Mustang Mach 1. Like, the Mustang Mach 1 has always been notorious for the hood scoop right coming out of the middle of the hood. My brother has it, my dad has it, and if they added that to the 2018 Mustang Mach 1, which they probably would if they had one, then that might be what that picture is. Now, it also gets a little bit weirder in terms of some of the cars that might be coming out. So Ford has officially released the pictures of the 2018 Mustang, and they haven't released all the models for it, but they've released the pictures of what it will look like. You know there's going to be a GT, obviously, and the V6 is discontinued, and there will be an EcoBoost, but they haven't released any other models than that. And basically, if you look at the 2018 gauges, in the bottom left, the mileage on the car is 1964.5. So 1,964.5, which obviously is the first year of Mustang. So they're obviously throwing in a little Easter egg there. And then also, if you look to the right of that, the miles, I think it's like miles still empty on the car, was at 289, which was the first ever V8 introduced to a Mustang in the 1964.5 year. It was a 289 V8, which is also really weird. But then if you look at the gear and the speed, it says 455, which 455 is a speculation that a lot of people are thinking that the GT, that's how much horsepower it's going to make, 455 in 2018, because it's getting a different injection process and some other tweaks. So a lot of people think it's going to gain about 20 horsepower at 455. And so the gear says 4, and then the speed says 55, which could mean that the GT might have 455 horsepower. So that's just a little bit of speculation there. And then also, if you look at the next picture, it says 7th gear and 55, which 755 horsepower is obviously an insane amount. But a lot of people think that if they do make a 2018 GT 500 rather than a Mach 1, then it will have more horsepower than the Hellcat, which the Hellcat has 707. So if they put it at 755, you know, who knows? I don't know, but they did throw in an Easter egg, obviously, with the 1964.5 and the 289. And then the horsepower, a lot of people think that the gear and the numbers there are the horsepowers of the car, or the horsepower of the cars. So yeah, that's basically the video for today. I just wanted to talk to you guys about the possibility of a 2018 Mustang Mach 1. Please, guys, keep your fingers crossed and pray for this, because I probably more than a lot of people want this to happen, because I'm a huge Mustang Mach 1 fan. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and if this doesn't come true, then I'm sorry. I just was speculating, but if it does come true, which I have a feeling it will, then I knew it, I guess. But yeah, so that's it for today, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.